If you're a projector who's ever struggled to sell your offers as a coach, service provider, or educator, and you're wanting to learn how to make more sales in a way that feels more authentic and easy, this is going to be the most important video that you watch today. And if you're wanting to learn more about how to use human design to attract more clients and increase your profits without the constant hustle, then you're going to want to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and you'll get much more videos just like this one. And if you're new here, my name is Crystal Alfarero. I'm a human design expert and business mentor, and I've been in the online business space, in the world of entrepreneurship for 7 years now. I've dabbled in a lot of many different ventures, things from e-commerce to coaching, and right now in this human design practice, in my human design business that I've been running for 5 years now, and have grown it to becoming a multi-six-figure business as a projector entrepreneur. So I know a lot of the challenges that you might face in getting your practice off the ground, getting your business off the ground. And that's what I really want to help you with today. Now, when I first entered the world of online business and I thought of sales, the first thing and the only thing that I would really associate with sales was the pitch, right? I thought selling was just the pitch, right? The cold DMs, the promos, and all of that stuff. And so when I went out and sold or tried to sell my offers, it kind of felt like crickets, right? I wasn't going about things in the right way. This is what led to sales feeling hard. This is what led to sales feeling salesy. And what I didn't know is that there are things that need to lead up to sales. There are things that you have to do that lead up to being able to sell with ease. And there are also things that, we need to shift internally in order for sales to feel easy for us as projectors. Combining these three things that I'm going to talk about today are going to be super, super useful in terms of helping you learn the art, master the art of selling as a projector. And so if you're ready, let's just dive in. And so the first point I want to make is that easy selling starts with a great offer. You need to have an offer that you feel that you totally believe in, you feel 100% conviction in, that this thing can bring so much value and benefit to your ideal client, that you are able to deliver on the promise that you're making to your audience, to be able to deliver that transformation as well. And so if you don't feel that right now, it's really important to go back to the drawing board and build an offer that you do feel 100% conviction in. And if you're right now at the point where you're maybe entering into a new space, right? Maybe you've just learned a new skill and you don't feel completely confident about your ability to go out there and to start sharing this, then, do what you need to do to build that conviction within yourself. So maybe the thing that you offer, you love it, but you just don't feel 100% confident about your ability to do that yet, then, take your time to build your expertise, master your craft, right? This is what projectors are here to do. We really, really need to focus on mastering our crafts. Like I said, taking your time to build those skills. Maybe that's learning a new book or, reading more books. Maybe it's taking a certification course. Maybe it's taking a certain training. There's so many different ways to build your expertise, your knowledge in that particular area. And not just that, but also get experience, right? Maybe that also involves gaining experience. Maybe you work with a couple practice clients before so that and you can see and you can feel and believe that, you're 100% capable of doing that, right? Not everyone necessarily needs to go out and work with practice clients at first. Some people already have that conviction and maybe that's what gets them there a lot quicker. But for you, if you're someone that struggles to see that, then do what you need to do to build that conviction, right? Does that involve learning more? Does that involve working with more clients? And once you see it, then you start to believe it, right? Once you see the results that you're able to provide, then that's when you start to believe it. Of course, there is a point where maybe you've done all the studies, you do have the experience, and you still don't feel that conviction. I think that's a deeper problem or, a deeper, maybe block that you're going to need to work through. But the most practical thing that you can do is when you start working with clients or start working with practice clients, maybe you get that testimonial, you get that feedback. And so that should really be the foundation of being able to build that confidence, that competence, that conviction that you have in what it is that you're offering, what you're selling. And so again, from here, when you have that conviction, selling becomes so much easier because you believe in it. You're excited about it. You know that there's so much value that you can offer to people that could use, or, that people that have a specific problem, and you're really just giving that solution to that particular problem, right? It's a service. And, one thing about heading into the online space and, becoming an entrepreneur for the first time, there's so many different things we're learning. There's so many different things that we're doing. We don't know what the priorities are necessarily, or, we start to learn that along the way. And, one of the most basic things that I learned when I was in business school was the marketing mix, right? The 4 Ps. And these are what are essential for, the 4 controllable factors, right? That you can actually improve and work on, that you can control, to make sales and marketing efforts so much easier, to, make sales so much easier for you. Those 4 Ps are product, place, price, and promotion, right? And, one thing that we always forget is the importance of that product. I don't think this is emphasized enough when it comes to selling, when it comes to stepping into this online space. And so having a product that we are fully convicted in, that we fully believe in. And so if you don't feel that yet, then going back to the drawing board, creating an offer, crafting an offer that combines your unique skills, your experiences, and packaging it in a way that you feel excited about, right? Sometimes it's not just about what it is that you're offering, but how you offer it and how you can convey that value to the people that can benefit from your gifts and from the things that you have to offer. Now, the next step to easy selling is nurturing, right? It's all about nurturing the people that find you. So again, when we talk about marketing, there's kind of like 2 main purposes. Number 1 is to get you visible, get you in front of your ideal client. And then, this is where the traffic comes in. This is where maybe you're posting on Instagram and maybe Reels and maybe even like an SEO platform. This is where people find you and have that first contact with you for the first time. But from there, just because they find you doesn't mean that they're ready to buy yet, right? You need to do a little bit more work to nurture them, to build that know, like, and trust, right? Warm them up so that they feel confident, later on, that if they did have a problem, or if there is a certain problem that they have, that they can trust you, that you're going to deliver a certain result, or that you're capable of providing a certain result. And so one thing, again, if you're not familiar with it already, I feel like most of you probably will be, but perhaps you've seen that buyer's journey funnel, right? That thing where the top of the funnel is like the visibility, where people find you. And then as you go down, basically that funnel leads to the sale, right? Sales kind of like at the bottom of the funnel. But sometimes, again, what any business owner needs to do in order to facilitate sales and make sales a lot more easy is taking the time to nurture, right? That part in the middle where just because they find you doesn't mean that they're ready just yet. You need to do a little bit more work so that, again, people see you as an authority, right? People know that they can trust you, or people feel connected to you, which is what is going to help you, again, when you are offering something. It's going to help them feel confident in investing in you. And not just that, but let's connect this back to human design. Our strategy is to wait for the invitation, right? What's the foundation of an invitation? Well, that's recognition. People need to recognize you for something. People need to see you, see the value that you have to provide. And so on one hand, of course, we need to do what we need to do to get out there, to be seen. So you want to think of yourself kind of like a lighthouse, right? When you're starting that marketing journey and, you have this offer, you want to put it out into the world, start sharing your gifts, start educating, right? Again, going back to how you best nurture. I have a really great guide on that. It's the Effortless Attraction Guide. You can go down in the description to download it, and it basically teaches you how to tap into your profile to create content in the best way, to effortlessly attract clients in the best way. And so leaning into your strengths to do that, right? To nurture your clients in a way that's going to be the most natural for you, in the way that's most effortless and efficient and effective for you as well. And then from there, again, that's where you gain that recognition. That's where people start to build that know, like, trust. And so it's through that nurturing that you're able to establish the recognition. That's the foundation of being able to receive any kind of invitation. And one of my biggest mistakes was not taking enough time to really nurture that connection with the people that I wanted to serve, that I wanted to sell to. And, from there, again, it just makes selling so much more difficult. And so take your time to educate, to provide that value, to show that, demonstrate your own gifts, your own talents, before you go out and pitch, right? Warming them up. So even if you think of your own experiences, again, sometimes, like, let's say, for example, you're out at a bar and someone approaches you and then they just ask you out on a date right away. I mean, maybe that works sometimes, but it might not be the most effective way. Once you start to get to know them, maybe you warm up to them, maybe there's something that you discover that you like about them, you're probably more likely to, have that conversation or to, open up and speak to them in some way. And so you're going to want to think of the same thing in your business, right? Take your time for you to get to know who you're speaking to, and give your audience, your ideal client, time to also get to know you too. And so again, taking that time to nurture so that you can get that recognition. Next thing is your messaging, right? So specifically your sales messaging. So let's say, you have this awesome offer, you've nurtured your clients, but the one thing that you want to understand as well is that nurturing alone is not going to make a sale, right? Doesn't matter how much value you give, it's not necessarily going to give incentive for someone to want to buy right away. You really need to work on your messaging. In other words, conveying, number one, what it is that you offer. Sometimes I see the mistake of not even sharing what it is that you do, what it is that you're offering. So how is someone supposed to buy from you if they don't even know, if they go on your Instagram page, is it clear what it is that you sell? Is it clear what it is that you offer? Is it clear what it is that you do to help them solve their problems, right? Having your offer out there, not being afraid of that sale. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But having clear messaging as well. So in the way that you're promoting, so let's say you're ready to make that sale, it's not just about the pitch, right? It's not just buy now, right? Oh, I have this, offer ends tomorrow. There's so much more than that. What you want to convey when you're selling and in your sales messaging is getting very, very clear on that ideal client, right? Knowing what their specific problem is, what keeps them up at night, and being able to convey, number one, how does your offer help them, right? How does your offer solve that problem? What are the benefits to your ideal client in investing in that offer? And I'm not talking about the features of like coaching calls and maybe they get some one-to-one time or a specific aspect of your service, but specifically the tangible benefits, right? Are they going to feel energized? Are they going to feel, or are they going to, be able to get paid for what they do, right? Maybe you're a marketing expert, is this person going to increase their growth or their follower count or whatever it is that you're selling, right? Maybe you're a life coach, right? Are they going to experience better communication in their relationships? Are they going to feel more harmony in their relationships, right? Are they going to feel more connected to their partner? Are they going to have better sex if you're a sex coach, right? Being very clear and concise about what it is that you offer. That's going to be very important so that your client understands that, because you have to understand that when you go through that process of buying, there's a lot of doubts that are happening, right? There's your mind. I mean, of course, we buy with emotion, we rationalize with logic, but you want to make that offer a clear choice for them. And the better that you can convey the benefits, the better that you can help them connect the fact that, they have a specific need and your offer is the solution. The more you can bridge that gap, the easier it is to then sell, right? And give them clear directions on how to buy. Having that clear messaging is very, very, very key. This is, again, something that I've had to refine over time. It's something that I work with all my clients with, because sometimes the messaging can be very vague, or sometimes we avoid leaving clear instructions. Sometimes we avoid expressing and articulating what the clear benefits are in a way that's tangible, in a way that's practical, in a way that makes the client go, oh yeah, I need this, right? And so, again, having that clear sales messaging is very, very important, and having more to say than just buy now, or I'm offering this, right? It's more than just a straightforward pitch. There's more that goes into that. And also learning about how to deal with objections, right? You don't even have to think of them as objections. They're really, how do you help your client find the right solution for them? And last but not least, easy selling as a projector requires reframing and changing the way that you see sales. Again, if you have a negative perception on sales, then most of the time that comes from our past experiences. It's simply a projection, but sales in itself isn't inherently bad, right? There's a difference between maybe good sales, right? Service-based sales. And then also, what we consider to be bad sales, the salesy kind of sales. Again, there is a really big difference, but sales in itself is not bad, right? And so think of the times that maybe you lost something that you use. Maybe you lost your phone. Maybe someone stole your phone. I live in Barcelona, so that happens a lot. Had my phone stolen twice. Or maybe your laptop broke down, right? You walk into the Apple store and you're actually lining up to be sold too, right? In a lot of cases. And so when you interact with that sales associate or whoever it is, again, these are people that listen to what it is that you need and help you connect to the right, maybe laptop, right? The right model that you're looking for. Why does this feel different? Why does this feel good? Well, it's because this person, number one, you actually need that thing, right? And then number two, this sales associate is very knowledgeable. They know how to connect your needs to a specific solution that's going to help solve that. That's going to be good for you. That's going to be suited to your budget. That's going to be suited to what you're actually using it for. On the other hand, when we think of salesy, and again, I feel like this is the projection that most of us have, or the perception that a lot of us have around sales. Not saying everyone, but this is certainly the mindset that I had around sales as well, is that sales is salesy. Sales is kind of buy me now. It just seems very inauthentic. It doesn't feel very genuine. And again, that's just an example of the wrong way to go about selling. When we think of salesy and what bad selling looks like, or unethical selling, is when you're trying to push something onto someone that they don't actually need, or that there's no requirement for. You're doing it just because you want to make a sale, but you're not actually listening. You're not using that empathy to listen, to understand what that person's needs are and try to fill those needs. Instead, you're trying to push something from having a different agenda. And so that's kind of what we associate with sales, right? Salesy is more aggressive, right? Trying to sell you something that you don't need. I think it was maybe last month, I was going out to eat at this new restaurant, and they have a set menu and they also have the a la carte menu. And basically this waiter was trying to push this set menu on me. And I'm okay, well, I'll take a look at it. And so I looked at the menu, looked at the a la carte, and found that there's something specific on the a la carte menu that I wanted. But this waiter, after I told them, I'm just going to order from the menu, kept pushing this set menu, kept pushing it and pushing it. Even after I told them 100 times that there's something that I want that's not on here. This person walked away, came back when I was ready to take my order. And then I started telling them exactly what it was that I want. And then he goes, "What? You don't want the menu or the set menu?" And I'm like, "No, I already told you that." And, basically, he looked very disappointed. He looked like I was just like a nuisance for not ordering the set menu. And again, maybe there was pressure from his bosses to sell the set menu. Maybe it was more profitable for them, for people to buy this particular menu. And yeah, he, again, wasn't considering my needs. He had his own needs, his own agenda that he prioritized over the client, over the customer. And so that left me with a really bad sensation. It just left me feeling a little icky, right? And so when we are being sold to, when we're specifically being sold something that we don't want, that's when things feel salesy. And so you don't have to be that way. You don't have to approach the way you sell in that way. And so the way that you want to approach it and the way that you want to see sales is, again, it's a service, right? So you can either be a service-based seller or you can be a salesy seller, right? The service-based seller is someone that listens to the needs of the people that they're trying to sell to, also has aligned messaging to make sure that they're actually, well, that they know who it is that needs their product, right? This is why it's so important to, at the very, very foundation, understand your ideal client, go back to that time and time and time again, refine that time and time and time again, and being able to understand who that is and target your marketing efforts to these particular people and target your messaging to these people. And another way to think of service-based selling is that you're simply helping your ideal client fulfill a need or fulfill a want. You're connecting them with something that's going to bring improvements in their life or that's going to bring them value in some way. And so when you have identified who your ideal client is and how your offer actually solves that problem, again, there's not any convincing that needs to be done. It's simply helping them connect the dots that this is something that they need, right? This can be the solution to their problem. And there's different ways to do that, right? But again, like maybe that's going to be another video. There's different ways that you can communicate and you can improve your sales messaging so that it is in alignment that feels, in a way that feels good for you. But ultimately, what you don't want to be doing as a projector is convincing, right? Hopefully you've created this offer that you love, you've done enough nurturing, and you know exactly who it is that you're speaking to. You know exactly who it is that's actually going to benefit from your offer. And now it's just a matter of connecting those dots or helping connect those dots with that particular person. Of course, there are going to be objections. Like every person might have some kind of objection, right? Not everyone is going to be ready to go and buy right away, no matter how warmed up they are. And so it's really important to be able to address those objections. Again, objections are simply concerns. You don't have to think of it as like pushing against it. You don't need to try to convince them that, what their concerns are invalid. No, you want to listen and you want to consider what those specific concerns are and how you can maybe how you can help them feel more at ease with making this particular investment. Again, even after addressing all these concerns or certain objections, maybe they're still saying no. And again, it might not be the right time for them. Maybe they really don't have the money in the bank to invest in you. Maybe you are even speaking to the wrong person, right? Sometimes we need to direct our marketing to people that can afford our services, right? So there's a lot that we can do to help make sales so much easier for us, that can make selling feel much more natural and authentic, right? And yeah, again, service-based selling or human, if you want to put it this way, like human first selling is really putting the person, your ideal client, at the forefront of why you're doing what you're doing and how you go about doing it. And so, yeah, again, it doesn't have to feel salesy. It doesn't have to be salesy, especially if you've done the right work to make sure you're talking to the right people. And so those are the 4 things that you need to consider, that you need to nail in order for sales to be easy, in order to master the art of selling as a projector. And it all goes down to the basics. It's not just at the pitch, but selling is an art. It takes looking at these different controllable factors that we can absolutely control. So things like our offer, right? Making sure that we have conviction in our offer and that we truly believe in ourselves and our abilities to provide that transformation that we're offering. Number two, taking that time to nurture and to provide value and doing that in a way that feels good for you, that feels authentic for you. Number three, actually going out there and selling and making sure that it's, again, not just the pitch that you're doing, but you're taking the time to address specific concerns that your ideal client might have. And also you're giving specific directions in terms of what or how someone can work with you. And even just like putting your offer out there, if I were to go to your website, to your Instagram page, making sure that it's very clear and easy for someone to say or to see that, okay, this is exactly how this XYZ person can help me solve a certain problem. So is that clear? You want to go to the basics, make sure you have all those in check. And then last but not least, the mindset that we have around sales, right? We really want to shift our perspective in terms of how we see sales. If you go about your day hating sales, and if you have this negative perception around it, that's not conducive to being able to build a profitable business, unless you have a sales team that can do that for you. But I know most of us don't have that. And especially starting out, especially if we're trying to build a business on social media or we're trying to build a business online, we're trying to build our presence. We might not have a lot of resources to be able to outsource that sales part yet, but be very good. Learn to get good at sales, learn to love sales, learn to see sales as a service and simply you helping someone else meet a need. You're all heart-led salespeople out there. I know if you're watching this video, you're someone that has integrity for what you do. You're someone that has that empathy. And that's really your superpower in being able to be a great salesperson, listening to what those needs are and just helping bridge that gap. And again, the key is making sure that you're actually talking to the right people that have that specific problem. And that's pretty much it, right? It's an art. It's something that takes time to refine. It takes practice and you are going to get good at it. You will get good at it. Tell yourself that every single day. And that's how we can really start to love and be a master of sales. If you can do these 4 things, do them well, even if it's like incrementally well every single day, I guarantee that your income's going to increase, your sales are going to increase, and you're going to love what you do in terms of selling, right? That is no longer going to be a fear. It's no longer going to be a roadblock. And so I hope you enjoyed these insights. I hope they were helpful. They certainly helped me in my process and what drive me and motivate me to show up and, provide my offers, share my gifts with the rest of you. And so if you enjoyed this video and you want to continue learning how to use human design to attract more clients without the constant hustle and grind and learn how to love sales, then give us a follow and you're going to get a lot more videos just like this one. So have an amazing rest of your day, evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.